Hey there. Welcome to Head, Heart, and Hustle, the podcast for creatives. My name is Allen Plummer, and thanks for listening and giving us a shot. I know there's tons of podcasts out there. There's more every day. So thanks for listening. I wanted to take a moment, introduce myself, and give folks a little bit of an idea of what this podcast is going to be about. So, it's funny. I actually work in financial services, which, I will admit is not the most creative field in the world, right? But I am a creative person. I've been creative most of my whole life. In my current role today, I work in a marketing role that certainly requires creativity, and I work with a high number of creatives. I was actually one of those kids that started performing at a young age. I kind of gravitated towards being creative and artistic. In elementary school, I had a music teacher, probably around first grade, who was also the choir director at our family's church. And so I ended up being put on stage to perform and sing and act before I really was old enough to know any different or have stage fright. So that kind of started me down that path. I ended up basically singing and playing in doing plays and acting and all that kind of stuff through my adolescent years, and then eventually turned into a writer by the time I hit 12 or 13, became kind of a teenage journalist for newspapers, actually hosted a kids news show on Saturday mornings where I lived at the time in Huntington, West Virginia, and then really turned into a chorus geek and a theater geek in high school. I will absolutely admit that. Even so much so that when I went into college, my first major was music before I shifted gears into English. So long story short, I've always been a creative person. I've got a lot of friends who are creative individuals, whether it's professionally or personally. And one of the things I found throughout my life is that it's always really great to have conversations with individuals who are creative when you talk about the projects you're working on, right? So you trade notes, you talk about what excites you and the ideas that you have, and inevitably those conversations turn into this great kind of energized sharing of information where everybody kind of walks away feeling really excited about what's going on in their lives and the work that they're doing. It's always been helpful for me and beneficial for me. And so what happens is you have those conversations and then you come back to your day-to-day life and that energy kind of fades away, right? We have the responsibilities of adulthood and we have stress and we have day jobs and all these other things that happen. And so it's really hard as creative individuals to keep that energy. And so I've always kind of struggled with that. Earlier this year, I was visiting some friends in Los Angeles and we were talking about this, and one of them happens to do a podcast with his girlfriend on a different topic. And he and I were having this great conversation and I had this eureka moment. And I thought, well, what if you can bottle that lightning? And what if you could take the conversation that the three of us were having and really kind of capture it and record it and share it with other people? I think there could be some real power in that, some real benefit to hearing some of those conversations that other creative individuals have. And so that's where the idea for Head, Heart, and Hustle came from. So every episode, what you're going to hear is me interviewing and honestly just having a conversation with someone that has creative projects in their lives. Some of these people are professional creatives. Some of these people are creative for a living. Some of them are not. Some of them have regular day-to-day jobs and they, kind of work on the side. But what you're going to hear is that from everyone is that energy, that desire to create, that impulse that exists within so many of us. So you're going to hear all kinds of different interviews, and all the episodes are standalone. You can listen to them in any order. You can pick the ones that you like. You're going to find that I'm interviewing filmmakers and fellow podcasters and comedians and television writers and painters and designers and image consultants and bloggers. Like the list just goes on. There's all kinds of people that I've reached out to, and I'm having some great conversations. So each episode is going to focus on one of those individuals. You're going to get a chance to hear us talk about what they're doing and what their lives are like. And my hope is that maybe you'll get some spark out of that, and you'll find that that's kind of helping you a little bit and giving you some encouragement for your own creativity. The idea for Head, Heart, and Hustle, or the name, really comes from the three things that I think have to be present when you're creative. One, your head's got to be in the right place because it is a bit of work and you've got to think about what you're doing and put some energy into it. Number two, obviously your heart has to be in it. No one is creative unless they really have the impulse or the drive or their heart's in the right place to be able to do it. And then lastly, and I think most importantly, is that hustle element. We all have to make time to be creative because life is demanding and we're all busy. So when I think about what it takes to be a creative person, I think it takes head, heart, and hustle. So that's where the name of the podcast comes from. So that's really it in a nutshell. I'll mention a few other things really quickly. Obviously, you found the podcast. Thank you for that. I hope you enjoy the interviews. But just know that we're available all across the web in addition to the podcast itself. You can find our website at headheartandhustle.com. You can find us on Twitter at headhearthustle, and that's no E, so it's spelled HEADHEARTHUSTL. On Twitter. We've got a Facebook page, so you can find us on Facebook, Head, Heart, and Hustle. We're even on LinkedIn and Google Plus at the same thing, Head, Heart, and Hustle. So we're pretty much all over the place. So feel free to check out any of those places, reach out to us. We'd love to kind of hear from people, get ideas for future shows. We're always looking for people to interview. That's great. Yeah, so that's really it in a nutshell. I hope you enjoy it. Let us know. Write a review on iTunes. Share your thoughts on the podcast platform of your choice. And if you send us an email and send us a screenshot of your review, I'm more than happy to shoot you guys a sticker or two in the mail as a way to say thanks. So feel free and let us know. And yeah, with that, we'll dig right in. So thanks so much for giving us a shot and listening, and I hope you enjoy.